at the. Okay, we're against some bud rule, playing d4. We're gonna go with knight f6 here. Knight f3. Let's go c5, d5. We're gonna go e6, counterattacking the pawn. Knight c3. Okay, usually white will play c4 there to keep a pawn in the center. Knight c3 though. There's a couple different ways to meet this. I think we're going to go this route. We're going to trade off everything on d5, play knight c6. We're going to play knight to b4 and then d5 is the idea. It's like think like a grandmaster in practice. Yeah, that's kind of think like a FIDE master, not a grandmaster. I wish at this point. We're playing f6 to counterattack the bishop. And we also buy some time to play knight to b4 next move, most likely. So he's got to move the bishop somewhere. Bishop d2, okay. How many IM norms do I have, if any? Unfortunately, I don't have any at the moment. It's not a little bit. It's actually pretty tough to find strong norm tournaments here in Florida. Hard to find FIDE rated tournaments, period, here in Florida, unfortunately. So I'm still working on the norms at the moment. He plays bishop d2. If I play knight b4, I think he's just going to take it. So let's play queen to b6. Hit the b2 pawn. We might play knight e7 and then d5. I need to get in d5 in order for this position to be okay. So we're going to go knight e7. Florida's the worst. I agree. It's hot. It storms. We got hurricanes. There's not very many good chess tournaments. There's definitely strong players here. There's grandmasters and international masters and stuff like that, but they're all in Miami, and I don't live in Miami. That's a pretty far drive, so it's not as easy as I wish it was. All right, I think we're just exchanging, maybe. I'm behind on development, so I gotta be pretty careful here, actually. Could also just play bishop e6. I think this is okay. Yeah, let's just do this. Bad hockey team. Why did you buy Diamond membership? Was it required? They actually gave me the Diamond membership for free because as a titled player, you get the Diamond membership without pay. So I didn't have to pay for it. All right. I need to get this. I need to get developed. Is the next goal here. But I do want to kind of keep the position a little bit closed. So I'm going to play d4. Next move, knight g6, probably. Alright, I think we're playing a3 here, or I'm sorry, a6 here first, though. A6, kick the bishop, and then play knight c6, a little bit better than knight g6. Yeah, so knight c6. Next move, probably just bishop to d6, most likely. My position's going from a little bit difficult to I think I'm actually perfectly fine here at the moment. Don't think there's any downsides. Okay, e5. Not bad move. I definitely don't want to take because knight g5 is hurtful. I think we're going to play bishop to e7. And then if he takes the pawn, we're going to take back with the g-pawn. If I take back with the bishop, he gets like knight g5 check, and I don't really know if I want to give him the two bishop advantage right now, so we're going to take with the pawn. Next, we'll play bishop to d5. and then bishop to d6, and try to use these two bishops somehow here. Rook c8 and c4 is also an idea. Do you think you're best at opening, middle game, or end game, if any? I like the end games a lot. I like end games a lot. I don't know if I'd say I'm best at them over the other ones, over the other phases of the game. But I do like the end games a lot. Like maneuvering and the calculation and stuff like that. I'd probably say I'm best at end games actually. My openings aren't exactly the most creative or the most studied up thing in the world. All right, we're going 95 here. We got to... Actually, c4 is also okay. I think 95 is better, though. 95, just to hit the bishop on d3. Okay, bishop f5. Just take here. Probably just play bishop f8, as weird as it looks. Let's just go here instead, actually. Next, I want to play c4 pretty soon, if I can. Alright, we're going back to c6, though, at the moment. Bishop f8, off for a trade of rooks. Trade off that. Play h5. King g6 next move, probably. Or push these pawns on the queen side. I need to play c4 so that this bishop can move around a bit, is the idea here. Bishop c5 now is a good spot for that bishop to sit. Right there. King here. Okay, I guess that's a free piece. That's unfortunate. Now we're just up a piece. Not a whole lot to say. d3 check. If he takes, knight d4 check now. The king moves, we pick up the rook, and we're going to be up a full rook there. Okay, so he kind of fell apart there at the end as well. In-game lines can we calculate? Yeah, that's definitely part of it. That's part of why I like the in-game. You can calculate things a bit clearer. Okay, so the opening here is interesting. He plays knight c3. Usually you play c4 here. Then we kind of get into a Benoni type structure. He played knight c3 though, and there's lots of different ways to play here. I mean, I can play d6, he plays e4, and then we can do like the same exact type stuff. In this case, though, I decided to knight takes, knight takes, knight c6, bishop g5, f6. If the bishop had gone to f4, I was going to play knight to b4, hitting the queen and the pawn. The queen retreats, I play d5, I play bishop e6, and then my position's pretty good here, I think. Instead, he played bishop d2. I feel like if I play knight b4 now, he probably just gets rid of it and then plays e4. And my pawn is isolated. These are doubled. My bishops aren't very active. Not a huge fan of that position. So instead, I played... Where'd it go? I played queen to b6, hitting the b2 pawn. Next game, if you can, please play Latvian Gambit. Maybe. We'll see. Oh, Papa Wimbe and Jeremy Smith, thanks a lot for the follows. Sorry if I missed you guys a moment ago. Alright, so I'm hitting the b2 pawn here. He decides to castle. I played knight e7. Queen moves, d5. His e4 move is correct here. He should be trying to open up the center against a guy that's not developing very well. I do kind of look kind of silly with my development here. I played bishop e6. If he took, I'd play bishop takes and then get castle. I could actually castle right away here, which is maybe even a little bit better. Oh, Hubert Neutron, thanks a lot for the follow too. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Castling here would also be pretty good for me. I think that even with c4, maybe he gets to guard the pawn though. Maybe I could just play bishop takes. Anyways, he played queen b5 check. We exchanged. I played king f7. He played there. d4, b3, a6, knight c6, e5. Bishop e7 takes. I could have played bishop takes, but I think he just plays check. I take, he takes back. Fairly open position, and he's got the two bishops, which is definitely in his favor a little bit. So I took with the pawn instead. My pawn structure is not the best in the world here, with the two isolated pawns, but I think my pieces are maybe a little bit more active than like his bishop on f1. And XX Spiky, thanks a lot for the follow too. Hope you guys are enjoying it still. He played bishop d3, rook c8, knight h4. This is a good little maneuver here, trying to get onto the f5 square. I go knight e5, bishop to f5, take, rook e8, f4, knight c6, rook e2. There's actually kind of a funny tactic here that he could try. Not that it gets him anywhere special, but he could actually do rook takes e7. If I do rook takes, he plays check and then picks up a rook, and he's up a piece. If I do knight takes, he does the same check and then takes. Pretty much at the end of the day, it's just even material exchange, but it's kind of a cool-looking tactic. He played rook e2. I retreated. We exchange. I played h5, g3, b5, c4, bishop c5, king g6. He should just play g4 here, and I was going to take, and then play like rook h8 and jump into his position. I think black is actually a little bit better here. Despite the knight being good, my pieces are pretty good, and my pawns are pretty far advanced. Plus, my rook will be great if it lands back there. Instead, though, he played knight e7, which is just a big mistake, giving me a full piece. And at this point, not too much to say. I played d3, obviously with check and taking the pawn, or a knight d4. He took, I played knight d4 check, the king has to move, and then I come back to pick up the rook, and I'm just up a full rook here, winning pretty easily. Alright, seems like you have a big advantage once you're both in time pressure at this rating level.